that he's tired of being a slave in his own so-called country is a bad marriage. Yes! I have said it, that it would have been my preference for Nigeria to be together. But that preference cannot subjugate the preference of others who are tired of a bad country. Yes! And the only option to keep Nigeria united is justice. And it is very obvious and clear that the Buhari regime does not believe in justice. Otherwise, you would not have gone to Kenya to go abduct Kanu and bring him to Nigeria. When he was granted bail, he went back home. He went to his house and tried to kill him. You killed people in his house. He ran away for you. And now you travel all the way to Kenya and brought him back. And we say, when you brought him back, let us see and hear what he did wrong in an open court. You said no, you cannot allow that to happen. Meanwhile, people who are bandits in this country are being rehabilitated. Terrorists are being recruited into the army. In fact, today, I was roughened up and beaten up in front of the DSS. They even pushed me back to them. So, we must not accept this at all. Whether it is happening in Nigeria, and even if it is happening even in the future Biafra, if you have it, don't accept anybody to rub mud on your dignity. It is the reason why I refuse to be intimidated. I was told today by them that I don't have a case in court. I told them for as long as my brethren have a case in court, I have a case in court. As long as Igbo men are persecuted, I'm persecuted. As long as Yoruba people are persecuted, I am persecuted. As long as Kanu is persecuted, I am persecuted. So you cannot tell me that I don't have a case in court when we all have a case in court. But let me tell you finally, do you know the people who really have a case to answer? It is Buhari and his people. And when their trial shall start, it will be in the open. And it will be a lot of tears. All of this will end in tears for them. Every innocent man's blood. Yes. Every innocent man's blood has been spilled. They will pay for it. Either it is Biafra, Yoruba land, or anywhere in Nigeria. Thank you so much.
Fighting for freedom in the name of Biafra, we shall conquer. We are fighting for our motherland by the grace of Biafra, we shall conquer. We are soldiers fighting for our rights in the name of Biafra, we shall conquer. In the name of Biafra, we shall conquer. In the name you know, one go on the rear idea. If I come over, I wish to go to go. Oh, not that we walk on no go with you. You fight like your father. Here, put your job in place. No. We are soldiers of your pride in the name of Biafra. We shall go, you know, in the name of Biafra, we shall conquer. shall conquer. In the name of Jesus, we shall take it by force. We shall conquer. We are soldiers from the rising sun in the name of Jesus. We shall conquer. We are fearless. We shall Iwanyo, na nyi soro no Biafra. Iwanyo, Iwane uno na nyi soro no Biafra. Omo Biafra le, Iwane uno, na nyi soro budanyo. Anbarate, Iwane uno, Enuguste, Iwane uno. Ribateto, Ibonisteto, Namichoro Bulayo, Ebeka Unuti, Ebeka Unuti, Ebeka Unuti. We are calling all the indigenous people of Biafra living in that realm to go back home. Let us defend and build our motherland, the land of the rising sun, and stop developing other people's land while our land has been taken by our enemies. For Biafra land is the kingdom of God on earth.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, great Biafrans and lovers of freedom. This is Radio Biafra House Service coming to you through the auspices of Radio Biafra London. My name remains Mazi Jonathan Chinedu from Olu province of Biafra land, Today is the 22nd day of November in the year of our Lord 2021. Without wasting any time, we should go direct to handing over the microphone, the platform, to our HOD, Mazi Chika Edoziem. Mazi, please, over to you.
Thank you, Mazi Jonathan, and good evening from here. Am I coming out clear, please?
You are, Mazi. Go
on. Thank you so much. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, and good night to all of you great Biafrans. My name is Mazi Chika Edoziem. I come from Ihe Oma. Ihe Oma is in the province of Biafra land. And by the grace of Chukwu Abiyama, I serve the indigenous people of Biafra and the Directorate of State as the head of directorate. Today being the 22nd day of November 2021, I want to begin by assuring the great IPOB family worldwide, Biafrans in general, and lovers of freedom and friends of Biafra, that the IPOB leadership, we are doing everything that can be done. We are leaving no stone unturned to ensure that we are not distracted from our objective and that we do not lose focus. And all of us know what our objectives are at this very moment. And the top on that is the release, unconditional release of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, from the dungeon and incarceration of the Zoological Republic of Nigeria, currently being held by the Gestapo DSS. Biafrans, we must continue in our prayers for the health and safety of our leader, because at this moment, this battle is more spiritual than anybody can imagine. But be rest assured that, as Oyendu always says, in the end, we shall win. In the end, Biafra must come, and in the end, it shall all be to the glory of Chukwu Abiyama, who is at the helm of this very noble cause which we, his children, are pursuing. Let me inform Biafrans that very shortly, very shortly, the IPOB leadership will embark upon a massive installation of CCTV cameras across the cities and towns of Biafra. We know that the Zoo, Army, and the DSS, they have been going in the cover of the night to kidnap, to take away our people, irrespective of whether they are male or female, old or young. They do not care. They simply go in and kidnap those that they see and burn down the houses that are within their reach. We know that some of the times when these things happen, people will be either not around or they will already be sleeping. And this evil man will come under the cover of the night, commit their crime against humanity. And therefore, we are going to put in place instruments and equipment and devices that will afford us the opportunity to capture first-hand all these atrocities, all these kidnappings going on in our land, and also to make sure that the activities of the Fulani-sponsored terrorists in our land who are in military uniforms, police uniforms, and under the cover of the DSS, that all the activities in our land are captured live for the world to see and for the world to understand that these men, they have come to destroy. They are the people behind what they have termed the unknown government. The DSS, they are the people who have brought in this unknown government into our land to continue the mayhem which they have been committing in our land. Also, in addition to this, our people must understand, if we can reflect back on the 10th of November at the court premises in Abuja, we should remember that a bloody attack took place right under the nose and watch of security personnel, the Nigerian security forces. But these individuals, they only watched, these security men, they watched and they did nothing. They did not act, because those who were doing this attack, of course, have received clearance. Those who are committing these evils upon innocent civilians whose only crime was that they came to the court to observe a trial of great importance, not only to Biafrans, but of course to humanity and mankind. And the zoo let loose their terrorist dogs upon these innocent people, while the security agencies or the security personnel and agents watched and looked on without interfering. As a follow-up to this, therefore, I am directing the Eastern Security Network operatives this evening to return to their respective bases in the forests of Biafra land, because duty calls. We have it on good authority that their plan, the DSS plan, in the coming weeks is to engage in targeted killings of prominent sons and daughters of Biafra land. Their plan is to engage in targeted killings of prominent sons and daughters of Biafra land, and these they want to do through the instrumentality of the unknown government. And at the end of the day, they will be looking for whom to blame. And of course, as you all know, their attention will shift after committing the crime, by the way. After they must have committed the crime, they will turn around to accuse the ESN as being the culprit. They will turn around and accuse the IPOB as being the perpetrators. Therefore, we must think ahead of them. And in consonance to that, all ESN operatives are asked and directed to return to their bases from tonight for them to do that for which Oyendu set them up. Biafrans, we are alerting our people with this directive to the ESN operatives to return to base, because anyone therefore seen operating as an unknown government on our land or operating in whatever nomenclature that they may choose, be informed that these are a creation of the Nigerian DSS. They were disappointed that they could not carry out their plan during the recently concluded Nnamdi election, because we know what they planned. We know, we have it on good authority. We have their map. We have their plan, what they set to do. And their disappointment that they could not carry that out has not deterred them from seeking avenues on how to make sure that their plan is materialized. But I can assure them that we are watching, and we will not allow Biafra land to be turned into a war zone. We will not allow our people to become coders to the Fulani terrorists that have been sent into our land to cause all this mayhem that we are seeing. The DSS, their deployment is still ongoing in so many states of Biafra land, and we are watching all their moves, and we will be informing Biafrans at the appropriate time what all these are made to achieve. But we are not going to let our guards down, for our responsibility is to ensure the safety of every Biafran and every person in our land, except those who have bad intentions against the people of Biafra. Whether you are a foreigner in Biafra land, be rest assured that your security is assured. As the security of Biafrans are assured in Biafra land, so also your security is as well assured. Our formidable ESN, that of course we know why they are set up. There is great work that you have to do starting from this very week. Therefore, all commanders must ensure that their operatives under them are in place, that they are in place and ready for the assignment that will be given to them going forward. Now, there is a very disturbing trend going on in Biafra land. Very disturbing. We have been hearing about our youths, our children being tempted or being pushed into becoming drug users, with this special emphasis on the one they called meta something. I don't really know the name, but I think they call it in our language. I can tell you on good authority, we the Biafran people, it is not our culture to consume drugs. It is not our culture. Therefore, they are following a two-pronged approach, not only to kill our people physically by spilling their blood, they are also pursuing another agenda to useless those who they cannot lay their hands upon. In Biafra land, you will see the youths after schooling, after graduating, they do not have jobs. And we say, when a mind is idle, every form of evil goes into their mind. This is why they have introduced what was done in America in the 50s and 60s. When in the black community, drug was introduced by the CIA, and they knew why they introduced the drug into the black community. Crack and heroin and the rest of it. And we know what is happening to the black community from that period up to this moment. They have not been able to extricate themselves from the cause of drug addiction. This will not happen in Biafra land. Dealers in such drugs that is called Urumiri are hereby warned to relocate out of Biafra land or be ready to face a very dire consequences. If you are a dealer feeding our children with these drugs and you are in Biafra land, you better relocate from tomorrow, because Biafra land will not be a place for you. And I therefore want to use this opportunity to call on parents and guardians of our children and communities as well, that all of us have an enormous responsibility to partner with IPOB to ensure that we eradicate this scourge that has been introduced into our society to destroy the foundation, to destroy the fabric of our existence as a people. The sale of any form of hard drug is unwelcome in Biafra land. If you are dealing on this, don't say you are not one. You have to relocate out of Biafra land, because the consequences you probably will not be able to tell it. Biafrans, I know many of you have been waiting and expecting and wondering what has become of our financial support to the great Eastern Citizenship since the closure of the account, the fraudulent account that was opened by people who have different intentions and objectives than for the reason that that account was in the first place opened by this movement. I want to tell you that this evening we have finally received the approval from the highest command of this movement to make a new account available to Biafrans all over the world, to make a new account available to IPOB families worldwide, and to make a new account available to friends and lovers of the Biafran people who desire and who wish and who want to support our struggle for liberation and our struggle for independence. And of course, that support is the support that is to be given to the Eastern Security Network, who are doing great in our land. The account is as follows. The bank name and this account is domiciled at JP Morgan Chase Bank. The account name is Biafra Freedom LLC. The account number is 759-800-660. I take it again. 759-800-680. 680 and not 660. 680, I beg your pardon. And the routing number is 021-000021. Of course, this account information will be put in a flyer and distributed through our usual channel through the continental reps, who will in turn make this account information available to every national coordinator and down to the least unit or zone that we have worldwide. Therefore, do not worry about taking the information down, because we will bring out a flyer, proper flyer, that will stipulate all the information that you require, and then this will be made available to Biafran families worldwide. But what you have to take from this evening, or what you have to take away this evening from this broadcast, among other things, is the fact that a new account where support for the Eastern Security Network can be channeled and should be channeled and must be channeled has been approved by the highest command of this great movement. And that account is domiciled at JP Morgan Chase Bank, United States of America. The account name is Biafra Freedom LLC. The rest information, like I said, will be made available properly to all the family worldwide. As from tomorrow, starting from tomorrow, all national coordinators, all continental reps, and every coordinator for that matter that has in his or her custody the support and contributions and funds that were raised for the support of Eastern Security Network shall begin from tomorrow to make sure that that fund gets into this account for the young men and women, the brave young men and women we have in Biafra land. They have jobs to do, and we must equip them properly. We must give them the logistics. We must give them what they need to carry out their functions efficiently and effectively. I have also this evening some announcements to make. Some very important announcements. IPOB in the USA, there are some new appointments for coordinators in the city of New York, in Florida, in California, and in Minnesota. And the appointment goes as follows. IPOB New York has a new coordinator, and the name and person of Archbishop Nicodemus will be the new IPOB New York State Coordinator is Archbishop Nicodemus Obi, and his deputy is Mazi Jeff Ojiego. Mazi Jeff Ojiego will deputize Archbishop Nicodemus Obi, and these new coordinators, they replaced the former coordinator named Mrs. Love Akobundu. Mrs. Love Akobundu is no longer the coordinator for IPOB family in the state of New York. In Florida, Mazi Joe Ndoka replaces Mazi Onyema Edoziem as the state coordinator. Mazi Joe Ndoka is hereby from tonight appointed the new IPOB Florida state coordinator, and he takes over from Mazi Onyema Edoziem. In California, we have also a new coordinator. Mazi Remi Ezonye becomes the new IPOB coordinator for California. Mazi Ezonye takes over from our current Pacific Coast Regional Coordinator. Our current regional coordinator, Mazi Chika, is replaced as California coordinator by Ezonye. Mazi Remi Ezonye will, of course, run the family in California, but Mazi Chika remains our Pacific Coast Regional Coordinator. Mazi Chika remains our Pacific Regional Coordinator for the Pacific Coast in USA. In Minnesota, we have Mazi Chika Edoziem as the new state coordinator. The new Minnesota state coordinator is Mazi Chika Edoziem, and he replaces Mazi Titus Jidofo. Mazi Titus Jidofo is, as from this night, no longer the coordinator for IPOB family in Minnesota state. Great Biafrans, our journey may be experiencing some challenges, as you may see, as you may observe, but you must be rest assured that freedom fighting does not come on a platter of gold. Sacrifices are being made by thousands and thousands of Biafrans worldwide. Sacrifices are being made by hardcore IPOB members all over the world, and especially those of us in Biafra land in the war front. We are all making great sacrifices. We are all putting efforts to ensure that our leader is unconditionally released. We are all making efforts to ensure that Biafra is restored sooner than later. But while we are doing all this, there cannot be any room for indiscipline either in an IPOB structure or in the ESN hierarchy. There cannot be and there will not be any room for indiscipline. Everybody must understand that the enemy is around the corner waiting for an opportunity to pounce upon us. The enemy is around the corner waiting for an opening through which he will come in order to destabilize what we are doing. I have continued to warn, and I will continue to warn that nobody, that you must not allow yourself to be that conduit through which the enemy will attempt to penetrate into this noble cause. Because if that becomes the case, you and your generation shall live to regret that betrayal if it happens on your time or from your side. Therefore, I am encouraging and urging all of you to keep your eyes on the ball. The leadership is not resting on our oars. We are not resting. We are not resting in our efforts to ensure that our leader is back with us and in good health. We are not resting to ensure that this very noble cause that we have embarked upon shall all end in praises to the Almighty Chukwu Abiyama, and of course to the great Biafrans, to a joy that cannot be quantified, because on that day we shall dance in the street of Biafra to glorify Elohim, to glorify Chukwu Abiyama for his grace and mercies upon us. You must keep praying and supplicating to Chukwu Abiyama to guide and preserve our leader. We all must continue in our prayers, whether you're praying through the traditional way or you're praying through the modern way, the Christian way, if I put it that way, or Judeo-Christian way. If you're praying through the Judeo-Christian way, continue, in fact, increase your prayer a little bit and not up. And if you're praying in accordance with our customs and traditions, do not relent, because heaven is hearing our prayers, I can assure you. Because the spirits that own Biafra land, they are fighting your battle, I can assure you. Therefore, we must continue to call upon Chukwu Abiyama and to call upon the spirits that own our land, that they will, of course, continue with us on this journey until victory is assured and until the flag of liberation and freedom is raised on the hallowed land of Biafra. And like I said, we will keep all of you updated in the coming days or so. There may be something very important that we will inform the Biafran people all about. But I don't want to raise your expectations at the moment, but I can tell you we are doing what we are called upon to do, in all truth, in all honesty, to make sure that we are victorious. Biafra for us is not just a name. Biafra is our heritage. Biafra is our identity. Biafra is what we are, and we are Biafrans. And it is only Chukwu Abiyama, the creator of heaven and earth, it is only him that we Biafrans worship and bow down unto. Not man, not what Chukwu created, and not what man made. And therefore, continue in ensuring that you do not lose your identity. We must continue to ensure that we do not lose our heritage. And we must continue to bow our heads and our knees unto Chukwu Abiyama. For me, from here, I want to say to you, good night and sleep well. Thank you so much.
land of the rising sun. Onye si no gaga di ndu hukwa ndi Igbo alili gerishi ya o. Onye si no gaga di ndu hukwa Biafra ili gerishi ya o. Anyị bụ ụmụ Chukwu okike abịa ma ihe anyị chọrọ bụ nwere onwe anyị. Anyị echeghị mmadụ ọbụla ụgwọ onye biri ka ibe ya biri maka ebe bere ugo bere n'o ọ bụkwa ọfọ n'ogo ka anyị ji aga ka anyị gbawa mbọ anya dara mba anyị jisike anyị nwe mmeri. I got to define a Chukwu okike kere eluigwe n'ụwa nnabịa n'ụlọ olumo anyị enweghị Chukwu ọzọ ewezuga gị chịka ụzụ ndị agha anyị ebughị anya kọtọ gị ihe anyị chọrọ bụ nwere onwe anyị n'aka ndị nwere obi ọjọọ n'aka ndị ama n'oke ọchịchọ ọsọkwa aka egburu egbe na mma onweghị ya ga-emume Chukwu ọ bụzi mmadụ ole kunu ga-egbunu ihe anyị ma bụ oji ọfọ gala onye si n'ọgaga dị ndụ hụkwa ndị Igbo alili gerishi ya o. Onye si n'ọgaga dị ndụ hụkwa Biafra ili gerishi ya o. Anyị bụ ụmụ Chukwu okike abịa ma ihe anyị chọrọ bụ nwere onwe anyị echeghị mmadụ ọbụla ụgwọ onye biri ka ibe ya biri maka ebe bere ugo bere n'o ọ bụkwa ọfọ n'ogo ka anyị ji aga ka anyị gbawa mbọ anya dara mba anyị jisike anyị nwe mmeri. The land of the rising sun. Onye si n'ọgaga dị ndụ hụkwa ndị Igbo alili gerishi ya o. Onye si n'ọgaga dị ndụ hụkwa Biafra ili gerishi ya o. Anyị bụ ụmụ Chukwu okike abịa ma ihe anyị chọrọ bụ nwere onwe anyị. Anyị echeghị mmadụ ọbụla ụgwọ onye biri ka ibe ya biri maka ebe bere ugo bere n'o ọ bụkwa ọfọ n'ogo ka anyị ji aga ka anyị gbawa mbọ anya dara mba anyị jisike anyị nwe mmeri. I got to define a Chukwu okike kere eluigwe n'ụwa nnabịa n'ụlọ olumo anyị enweghị Chukwu ọzọ ewezuga gị chịka ụzụ ndị agha anyị ebughị anya kọtọ gị ihe anyị chọrọ bụ nwere onwe anyị n'aka ndị nwere obi ọjọọ n'aka ndị ama n'oke ọchịchọ ọsọkwa aka egburu egbe na mma onweghị ya ga-emume Chukwu ọ bụzi mmadụ ole kunu ga-egbunu ihe anyị ma bụ oji ọfọ gala onye si n'ọgaga dị ndụ hụkwa ndị Igbo alili gerishi ya o. Onye si n'ọgaga dị ndụ hụkwa Biafra ili gerishi ya o. Anyị bụ ụmụ Chukwu okike abịa ma ihe anyị chọrọ bụ nwere onwe anyị echeghị mmadụ ọbụla ụgwọ onye biri ka ibe ya biri maka ebe bere ugo bere n'o ọ bụkwa ọfọ n'ogo ka anyị ji aga ka anyị gbawa mbọ anya dara mba anyị jisike anyị nwe mmeri.